Using one of the page setup options in Word, you can specify that the paragraphs within a section be vertically aligned a certain way on the page. This quick tip demonstrates how you can set up this type of formatting. You already know that in Word, a document can be divided into sections. Each section can have a different page layout than the other sections in the document. One of the formatting options you can apply to sections is to vertically align the paragraphs in that section. You may not use this formatting often, but it is very powerful. As an example, take a look at the document that's on the screen. This is a report in which we want the very first two paragraphs to be in their own section. With the insertion point inserted at the beginning of this paragraph right here, I'm going to go to the Layout tab of the ribbon, and then I'm going to insert a next page section break in here. And notice that took this text down to the next page, but back here on the first page, we have these paragraphs at the very beginning of the document. Instead of trying to vertically space these paragraphs by trial and error or by resorting to calculations to see how much space you should put before the first paragraph, you can use the vertical alignment capabilities of Word. To do this, after the paragraphs are in their own section, just like we have here, then we need to insert the insertion point within this first section. On the Layout tab of the ribbon, we're going to go ahead and click this small icon at the bottom right corner of the Page Setup group. That displays the Page Setup dialog box. The tab that we're interested in is the Layout tab of the dialog box. Using the vertical alignment option right down here, all we need to do is we say that we want this to be center justified. Now when we go ahead and click on OK, you can see that those paragraphs within that section are center justified vertically on this page of the document. Now there are a couple of other things that I need to show you within that dialog box. So we're going to go back to the Page Setup dialog box, and on the Layout tab, you'll note that there are other options within the vertical alignment drop-down list. The default is top. That's what we saw a little while ago, so that those paragraphs appeared at the top of the page within that section. We then chose center, which allowed us to center those paragraphs on the page, but we could have also chosen justified or bottom. Justified would have spread out the paragraphs so that they filled that entire section, and bottom would have placed those paragraphs down at the bottom of that section. The other thing that you have to pay attention to within this dialog box is making sure that the Apply To drop-down list is set to this section. That way it only affects the section that you're working in at the current time. This should be the choice by default, which is why we didn't pay too much attention to it a moment ago. You'll just want to make sure that you do pay attention to it when you use this technique in your own documents. And again, once you click on OK, then that alignment, that vertical alignment, is applied to all of the paragraphs within that section of the document. And that's it. You now have your section vertically aligned the way that it's best for your needs, and you can move on to other formatting issues within your document. I hope that you found this quick tip helpful. If you did, you might consider signing up for the free Word Tips newsletter. Information is in the notes just below this video. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today.